Good morning students. Yesterday I have discussed to you about the vapor pressure of solid in liquid and liquid in liquid solutions, and also we have seen about the evaporation and condensation. Okay, so in solid and liquid what I have told you, lower vaporing pressure and relative lowering of vapor pressure. Then what do you mean by lowering of vapor pressure? I have told you lowering of vapor pressure is nothing but difference between the vapor pressure of pure solvent, that is P0, and vapor pressure of solution, PS. That when we call it as lowering of vapor pressure. So lowering of vapor pressure can be written as mathematically delta P is equals to P0 minus PS. Okay, so coming to relative lowering of vapor pressure, what I have told you, the ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the pure solvent of vapor pressure, we call it as relative lowering of vapor pressure. So this one can be written as P0 minus PS by P0 is equals to X. X is not XX is nothing but what here, mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction of solute, we call it as, this is nothing but the relative lowering of vapor pressure. What do you mean by relative lowering of vapor pressure here? The relative lowering of vapor pressure is nothing but the ratio of lowering of vapor pressure. Lowering of vapor pressure means what? Difference between the vapor pressure of pure solvent and vapor pressure of the solution to the pure solvent of the vapor pressure. This is nothing but relative lower, which is equals to non-volatile solute here. Okay, X indicates what here? X is nothing but mole fraction of solute. We have seen mole fraction definition. X I have written. So X is nothing but what here? What we have to write? NS by N0 plus NS. XS can be written as NS by N0 plus NS. Okay, NS is number of moles of solute, N0 is nothing but here number of moles of pure solvent, number of moles of solute, NS. Okay, so this is only this one. XX means, so I have told you mole fraction definition. In mole fraction definition, what is the definition? The ratio of the one component to the total component of the solution, we call it as mole fraction. That one indicated as XA and XB. XA is equals to NA by NA plus NB, XB is equals to NB by NA plus NB. So like that only, same thing we are here representing as XS. Okay, XS is nothing but mole fraction of solute. XX can be written as NS by N0 plus NS. NS. NS indicates number of moles of solute, number of moles of solute, and N0 is equals to number of moles of pure solvent. Okay, so this is nothing but NS and N0. So now let us see Raoult's law. Raoult's law is nothing but what here, according to French chemist. Okay, Raoult's law is discovered by French chemist Raoult. So what he had told means, Raoult's law is nothing but the relative lowering of vapor pressure of a solution the relative lowering of vapor pressure of a solution of non-volatile solute is equal to the mole fraction of solute in the solution. See here, what do you mean by Raoult's law? What do you mean by relative lowering? What do you mean by lowering of vapor pressure? The difference between the vapor pressure of pure solvent and the vapor pressure of the solution. Okay, so what do you mean by relative lowering of vapor pressure? The ratio of the lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent, we call it as relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now coming to Raoult's law, what I have told you, the relative lowering of vapor pressure of a solution of non-volatile solute is equals to the mole fraction of solute in the solution. So here relative lowering of vapor pressure of a solution of non-volatile solute, non-volatile means which cannot be easily evaporated, is equal to the mole fraction of solute in the solution. So already I have written, see here, P naught minus PS by P naught is equals to XS. Means what? The relative lowering of vapor pressure of a solution, this one is of a non-volatile solute, is equals to the mole fraction of solute in the solution. Okay, so this one. So where XS means what I have told you, XX means what I have told you, NS by N naught plus NS, where N naught indicates what here, N naught indicates the pure solvent, NS indicates the number of moles of solute. So now coming to here, P naught minus PS by P naught is equals to NS by N naught plus NS. Okay, so where small n indicates what? Number of moles of solute, NS means, N naught means number of moles of solute. But coming to here, in a dilute solutions, what happens means, what do you mean by dilute solution? I have told you dilute solution is nothing but a very small quantity of solute is added to the solvent in a solution. We call it as dilute solution. So in dilute solution, here NS is very small compared to N. What happens? NS is very small. So NS is very small compared to N naught. So what happens? NS will be neglected in the solution. So NS is neglected. Why? Because it is very small, no? So then what you will be getting? P naught minus PS by P naught is equals to NS by N naught. Okay, where NS is equals to number of moles of solute. So which indicates what is the formula of number of moles of solute? Weight by gram molecular weight, A by M. A indicates weight of solute, M indicates gram molecular weight of solute. Okay, so coming to next, N naught. N naught is equals to what here? B by W. You should not have confusion, that's why I have taken B by W. N naught means what? Number of moles of pure solvent. So coming to here, B indicates what? Weight of solvent. W is equals to gram molecular weight of solvent. Okay, so P naught minus PS by P naught is equals to NS by N naught. So why we got only N naught here? Why? Because in the dilute solutions NS is very less compared to N naught. So here NS is neglected, so that's why I have written NS by N naught. So NS is nothing but what? Number of moles of solute. What do you mean by number of moles of solute? Number of moles of solute is equals to A by M. A indicates weight of solute, M indicates gram molecular weight of solute. Weight by gram molecular weight no formula, so that's why I have written A by M. N naught means what? Weight of solvent. W is equals to gram molecular weight of solvent. So these two reactions we can place it in NS by N naught. So then what you will be getting? P naught minus PS by P naught is equals to, what do you mean by NS? We have written A by M divided by B by W. So this can be written as A by M into W by B, P naught minus PS by P naught. So this is about Raoult's law. This equation represents what? Raoult's law. Okay. What is Raoult's law? Raoult's law is nothing but related to lowering of vapor pressure of a solution of non-volatile solute is equal to the mole fraction of solute in the solution. So related to lowering of vapor pressure of a solution, already we have written here that one, and excess. Mole fraction of solute, no, that is excess. So excess means what? Number of moles of solute by total component we have to write, no? Number of moles of pure solvent plus solute. Now this one will be placed in the here excess. So you have written here. So in dilute solution what happens? N0 is very less than, sorry, Ns is very less than N0. We are neglecting. So that's why we got Ns by N0. What is the number of moles formula? Weight by gram molecular weight. So Ns is equals to A by M. In the same way we can write N0 is equals to B by W. So when substituting these two formulas in Ns by N0, we are going to get this formula. So this is nothing but, this one we call it as what? This is known as Raoult's law. Okay, this is Raoult's law. So it is having some limitations. So limitations of Raoult's law. Limitations of Raoult's law. So first point, what is its drawback means? Raoult's law drawback is nothing but what means here? It is applicable to only dilute solutions. What happens? It is applicable to only dilute solutions, and if the solute is non-volatile only, it will take place. The solute is non-volatile substance, then only the Raoult's law will takes place. Okay, so only dilute solutions it is going to take, and also solute is non-volatile substance. In a solution, I have told you vapor pressure of liquid in liquid and also vapor pressure of solid in liquid. In solid and liquid what happens? In solid and liquid we are taking non-volatile solute. Okay, so if you have observed these diagrams in a previous class, so when you see pure solvent and solution, solute we are taking as a non-volatile solute. Only for non-volatile solutes only Raoult's law is applicable. For volatile solutes it is not going to applicable. Okay, and next one, the solution behaves means the solution behaves as an ideal solution. The solution behaves as an ideal solution. For example, solute plus solvent we are taking. So what happens when we mix? We will be getting same mixture, clear liquid, yes or no? That one we call it as ideal solution. So what will happen is there will be no chemical interaction. No chemical interaction between solute and solvent takes place. For example, if solution behaves as an ideal solution, whenever you are mixing solute and solvent, it behaves as an ideal solution. So there will be no interaction between solute and solvent molecules takes place. Okay, this is also one of the limitation of Raoult's law. Now next one, Raoult's law can be divided into two types. These are the limitations. Raoult's law divided into two types, that is ideal solutions and non-ideal solutions. Now let us see very important topic, Raoult's law. So listen carefully. Raoult's law can be divided into two types, that is ideal solutions and non-ideal solutions. Now Let us see ideal solutions. Ideal solutions. So here coming to ideal solutions. Ideal solution is nothing but what means here, when we take two or more components. Okay, so when we take A or B components, so which is obeying Raoult's law at all temperature and concentration, we call it as ideal solution. So what do you mean by ideal solution? A solution which obey two or more components. A solution which obey two or more components in Raoult's law at all concentrations and at all temperatures. Is known as ideal solution. Okay, what do you mean by ideal solution here? Solution which obey two or more components in Raoult's law at all concentrations and at all temperatures, we call it as ideal solution. So these are going to have some characteristics, that is AA interaction 1 and next one BB interaction and next one AB interaction, and also these are the mole fraction components. Okay, so here, and we'll be having delta mix H is equals to 0, delta mix V is equals to 0. Means what? H is nothing but enthalpy volume. Now AA components, I'm saying what I have studied in definition, solution which obey two or more components. Two components I'm taking. So this is nothing but solute component, and this is nothing but solvent component. This is nothing but solvent component. Okay, so when you take two liquids A and B to form an ideal solution, okay, so we are taking two liquids, that is A and B, two liquids which will form a ideal solution. If you take for example salt and water, what will happen? It will form a homogeneous mixture. Okay, means what? It is an ideal solution, it is a clear liquid. So if AA interaction molecular attractions are similar to the BB molecular attraction forces, so what will happen means, in such a solution, force of attraction between A molecules is similar to AA attraction or BB attraction. So that's why we call it as this one as what here? Ideal solutions. I have told you, see once again I am repeating, if we are taking two liquids A and B in a ideal solution, A and B two liquids forms a ideal solution. Okay, so when it is forming ideal solution, so what happens here? If AA in molecular attractions, molecular attractive forces is similar to BB molecular attractive forces, in such a solution what happens? A and B molecules is similar to AA and BB attraction. For example, in a vessel I am taking C. This is a clear ideal solution. We have got AB. Okay, So here what happens, let us think this is A means solute molecules. These all are solvent molecules we are taking here. A solvent. So coming to here B solute and solvent. B. So what happens means this solute molecules and solvent molecules. So what happening here, the solute and solvent molecules are interacting similarly. So that's why we say it as delta H mix is equals to 0, delta mix V is equals to 0. Means the partial pressure of the two components is PA and PB. These two indicates partial vapor pressure, and mole fractions of A and B will be XA and XB. P naught A and P naught B indicates what here? Pure components of A and B. Vapor pressure of pure components of A and B. See here, PA and PB indicates partial vapor pressure. Mole fraction of A and B indicates X and XB, and P naught A and P naught B indicates vapor pressure of pure components of A and B. Okay. So now what happens means when we draw the graph in ideal solution. So here mole fraction I am going to take. Means XA, XB, XA, XB. If suppose if one condition is 100%, another condition will be 0. If suppose this is 0, if suppose this will be 1%. So in x-axis I am taking mole fraction, and in y-axis I am taking vapor pressure. Vapor pressure of pure components, that is P naught A, P naught B. So what happens here? Okay, this is the P naught B increasing, P naught A decreasing. So this one, this dotted lines indicates PA and partial pressure. So total pressure will be what here? P is equals to PA plus PB. So mole fraction, vapor pressure of P naught A, P naught B. Here PA, PB dotted line indicates what? Partial pressure of pure component A, pure component B. Partial pressure of what here? Pure component A and pure component B. So here whenever we take liquids, two liquids, what happening here? Total pressure is equals to what here? P naught A into XA plus P naught B into XB. So Raoult's vapor pressure solution of two liquids will be what here? P naught A XA plus P naught B into XB. So what happens means here the molar ratio of two components in the liquid and its vapor would not be the same. That is what here mole fraction of each component would be different in the liquid and its vapor. Okay, so this is nothing but ideal solutions here. So this is the way ideal solutions is equal here. Next one is non-ideal solutions. What do you mean by non-ideal solutions? Non-ideal solutions is nothing but here does not obey Raoult's law at all concentrations and temperature. We call it as non-ideal solution here, which does not obey. Ideal means which obeys, and here non-ideal means what? Which does not obey Raoult's law. But here coming to here, when we take clear liquid, what happens? Heat may be absorbed, heat may not be absorbed. That's why we are saying what? Enthalpy is equals to 0, volume is equals to 0. But coming to here, it showed two types, that is positive deviation. It consists of two deviations where delta H naught is equals to 0, delta V naught is equals to 0. We are getting two conditions, that is positive deviation and negative deviation. Okay, positive and negative deviation. Positive deviation is nothing but what here means for the what do you mean by non-ideal solutions which does not obey Raoult's law? We call it as non-ideal solutions. Means here delta H naught is equals to 0, delta V naught is equals to 0. Means non-ideal solution showing some deviations. That one we call it as positive and negative deviation. If suppose delta H is greater than 0, delta V is greater than 0, that one we call it as positive deviation. Why? Because here heat is observing. If suppose delta H is less than 0, delta V is less than 0, so it shows that here heat is observing, heat is releasing, so that's why we call it as here negative deviation. Okay, so now let us see which shows positive deviation, which shows negative deviation. Now let us take the graph positive deviation. Same for ideal solutions, how we have written like that only. P is equals to PA plus PB. This is PB, this is PA, here P naught B, P naught A. Why? Because here we are taking vapor pressure of pure components A and B. Mole fraction of X is equals to 1, XB is equals to 0. Mole fraction of X is equals to 0, XB is equals to 1. Mole fraction. Coming to ideal solution, there is no curves. Coming to here, there is a curves. Why there is a curves? I will explain you. So here, I have told you some conditions. AA interaction solute-solute, BB interaction solvent-solvent, AB interaction solute and solvent. Okay. But what I have told here, delta H naught is equals to 0, delta V naught is equals to 0. That's why it is showing some deviations. That is positive deviation and negative deviation. Now coming to here, positive deviation means when a vapor pressure of solution is higher than expected value of Raoult's law. Okay. See here, when a vapor pressure of solution is higher than expected value of Raoult's law, we call it as, this is positive deviation. Vapor pressure of solution is higher than expected value of Raoult's law, we call it as positive deviation. So here Raoult's law we are taking, so it is higher than the, what I have told in the definition, vapor pressure of solution means P naught A plus P naught B. So this solution is higher than the what we are expecting the value of Raoult's law. So for example, I have expecting some value Raoult's law some 11.6. So from this higher vapor pressure means it is getting some 11.8 like that. Means what? By comparing these two values, this is the highest. So there will be highest value, no? So that's why it is showing above curves. Means what happens? There will be intermolecular attractions between solute and solvent molecules. Okay, solute and solvent means what? AB. So there will be intermolecular attraction between solute and solvent molecules are weaker than solute and solvent. So means what here? Molecule of A and B will escape more easily than the pure state. So that's why it is showing solution will be higher than the positive deviation. So that's why we are saying PA is greater than PAXA and PB is greater than P0B XB. And here pure solution is greater than P0A XA plus P0B XB. So we are getting delta H maximum greater than 0, delta V maximum greater than 0. Example what we are taking, ethanol plus cyclohexane. Okay. So another example we can take acetone plus CS2. This is about examples. Once again I am saying, see, positive deviation is nothing but what here? Generally non-ideal solution means which does not obey Raoult's law. We can say non-ideal solutions. So means it will show some deviation, delta H not equals to 0, delta V also not equals to 0. So it is showing some deviations, that is positive and negative. Positive means delta H greater than 0, delta V greater than 0. Now coming to graph, what happens here? It is showing, means the vapor pressure of a solution is higher than the expected Raoult's law value. That one we call it as positive deviation. So in such a case, what happens means intermolecular attraction between solute and solvent. So intermolecular attraction between PA and PB is very less than the solute and solvent AA and BB interactions. So that's why we are getting PA is greater than P0A XA, PB is greater than P0B XB. So total solution will be P0A XA plus P0B XB. So delta H maximum is greater than 0, delta V maximum is greater than 0. Example will be ethanol plus cyclohexane, acetone plus CS2. Now next coming to negative deviation. Negative deviation also will be getting opposite to the positive deviation graph. So here P is equals to PA plus PB. Okay, this is PB, this is PA, this is P0B, pure components, vapor pressure of pure components. So this is XA is equals to 1, XB is equals to 0, XA is equals to 0, XB is equals to 1. Mole fraction, here we will be taking vapor pressure. Okay, so negative deviation means what here?